this one time, I forget which show, but they showed it out of context. And yeah, it was like, okay, it was Haley Joel Osment, a little boy. He's adorable. He's got a cowboy hat. And Walker brings him in. And like the older guy's like, oh, hey there, little lad. And he's like, hey, how's it going? They're all like, oh, ha, 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 ha. And then a long pause. And then the kid goes, Walker says I have AIDS.
Oh my gosh.
And I died.
Why? Music.
That goes here.
You
You don't literally have to do that each time.
I will do it each time.
Heineken, Pabst Blue Ribbon!
You're so right.
Wow, flippers and all, wow.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
What you know about
My boomstick!
You see my distant fellow?
Yeah!
I hate to kill him.
Can I have another bowl, please?
I think you know the way.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Welcome to Geekisodes, where everything is topical about everything geek. I am Jacob.
I am Luce Lawson.
Luce Lawson.
I did that just for
And
you.
this
you
is Bibbidi Bobbidi.
You know it, babe.
No. No. Bodacious Bob.
Bodacious Bobby.
Jammin' Jesse.
Jammin' Jesse.
We're gonna run out of like
haven't-
these.
I don't even come up with my own.
No.
I don't.
Well, I just started it, and then you all copied me.
Jazzy
Technically,
Jacob. I like it.
technically, he started it and you copied him because he's
Jazzy
the one who
Jacob.
just said, "I'm just Jesse," and then you started doing the whole LL thing. Yes, it
You
was
did
the
start
very
it.
first.
I remember you starting it.
Thank
Lawson.
you.
I really want to do the radio names. I'm Dr. Cheese, delivering you some slices. Just like literally cheesy things.
Oh no!
Oh,
You are going,
that sounds
You
like
are
an
going to
amazing
be
Cheetos commercial.
the worst father.
No,
Your kids are gonna hate
With
you.
the best dad jokes.
The best.
Dr. Cheese.
Dr.
Oh, Dad, this is why I don't like you.
Oh my gosh. Your angsty emo son just like scoffs. Yeah.
Yo, thank me when you're not on the pole.
What?
What? Right.
You're saying that to your son?
He's a stripper?
No, he's a race car driver.
Oh.
What?
Dirty-minded person.
Well, you said he's not on the pole. What does that have to be racing?
I'm assuming you don't
He's
want
not into politics.
That's not what that means.
Oh.
See, I think you're trying to correct yourself from the stripper part, and
it
you're
is-
failing
It
really
is a
hard.
progressive 2018 where men can also end up as strippers.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, there are two movies called Magic Mike.
Yeah.
I saw one in theaters.
oh,
It
you
was
did?
awful.
Really?
I was demented.
I see
I-
a
I'll
lot of
snap my fingers.
There was a
I see
lot
a
of
lot of now break.
there was a lot of Pepsi products in them.
Really?
You will drink that Pepsi Max.
No. You only like this guy was like, you only get one Pepsi Max. One. I said one Pepsi Max. If I see another Pepsi Max in your bag in your backpack, I swear to God, you're fired. They're like, it just
And
goes
you
from
realize
there.
what funded the movie.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh no.
Okay, guys. Reeling it in.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. No.
Already.
I can do it. Good luck with that. I can do it. So, antagonists.
Or villains, as some people call them.
Yes. They're probably they can a lot of times be the most exciting part of any story.
Arguably, they make the story.
Yeah, definitely.
I disagree, but I mean,
Whoa,
what else?
whoa.
Do
About
you disagree
that?
with something?
Yes.
Like, no. Actually, no.
That never happened.
Elaborate, Lawson. I'm
I've
curious.
seen plenty of shows without good villains that actually, or any villains that were just conflicts between different heroes or just heroes
Yeah.
facing things that were better.
Yeah,
I've never
but-
seen a show that had a great villain and a bad hero that I thought held up.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying it's like the key to every story.
But didn't we just
Have
say it
you
could-
not seen Street Fighter?
No.
Well, you're missing
Yeah,
out.
I guess you're missing my point, Lawson. I wasn't saying that like every story requires a good villain, but if it has an amazing villain, then that's pretty awesome.
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Not saying every story.
I thought we
requires that.
said it could be the most important part.
Oh, well, no, not the most important, but it can be the most exciting part.
Oh, okay. I
It
misunderstood
can be
then.
the most exciting part,
Interesting.
not the most important. No. I mean, if a story relies solely on one specific kind of character, then yeah.
I'm nodding.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing. Okay, so like I said, it can sometimes be the most exciting part of a story. So, having that said, we're going to go around. Let's say we can pick 3 favorite villains, or one, and also elaborate on what makes a good villain.
Let's go left this time. I went first last time.
Okay, great.
Starting with me,
Start
jamming
with
Jesse.
Jamming Jesse.
You were jazzy earlier.
No,
I thought.
he was
I'm
Jacob.
Jazzy Jacob.
Jacob,
I'm
yes.
Jazzy
Sorry.
Jake. It's fine. It's fine. Not to be confused with. Jammin' Jesse. Go for it.
Alrighty. So, my top 3 picks, I think are interesting as I
Okay.
picked them. Yeah. So, my number 1, and this is pretty obvious to people
Number
who
1 is
know
in
me.
first pick or is in
Number
most
1,
important?
my number 1 pick for myself personally.
Oh yeah.
I'll start with the
I'm
best.
looking at your list right now.
Oh yeah, you're not. I'm a terrible poker player again.
Yeah. Again,
Um,
we see your hand.
This is a
Here's my
week later and you
card.
still haven't fixed that problem. Probably 2
right.
weeks later.
A week, wink, wink. We didn't film
Yeah.
2 podcasts in
No,
one day.
that's not what we
Never.
do pathetically at all. No.
But my favorite villain of all time is Darth Vader.
Oh yeah.
I have to
Classic.
change one of my
And-
answers.
You don't have to do that now.
Yeah, go on.
No, the reason why is because, again, the Star Wars thing is my thing. Just his whole dynamic.
Well, as I look at your background, yeah. No.
Oh yeah, he pointed to the back to my
I'm
computer,
sorry.
and my background is Darth Vader.
Tron Vader.
Vader.
Tron Vader.
Vader.
Yeah,
Like it.
and it's just the whole journey he takes. And I'm not counting the first 3 episodes.
Of course.
Episodes 1, 2, and 3. Ignore. That's not
According
Darth.
to Obi-Wan, he's not Darth Vader in the
That's
first
not.
3. He's,
That's
Yeah.
exactly.
Anakin died, then he became Darth Vader. That's why you don't
From
tell
a,
him.
from a certain point of view. Yeah.
And the no doesn't count either because
Right.
that's lame. I'm talking about cinematically 4,
Yes.
5, and 6. The Darth Vader that we all know and love, who strikes terror into small children like myself. Who is the
Like
bad guy you wanted to fight and defeat.
Bobby's making a face.
I'm sorry, I gotta say it, and I know we all love Darth Vader, but
You're wearing a Darth Vader shirt.
I am, and I love Darth Vader too. It's just,
Yeah.
as far as villainy goes, he doesn't do much.
Well, this is
I'm
my
sorry.
turn. Excuse me, it's my turn.
I'm not saying.
Yeah.
They brought it up.
When-
I was just gonna sit here and listen
When
to
you
you. I'm
when you
just
type
saying.
when you type villain into Google,
He is a villain.
he
He
shows
just,
up pretty.
He does. It's
evidently,
just
so.
like if you really watch it, he,
later in the game. Right.
compared to like my choices, Vader
I
doesn't
haven't
really do
said
much
all my
unless it's
choices.
like outside.
This
of,
is
like,
my
the
favorite
movies.
villain, Bobby. This is my favorite. not,
Right.
You know
Just saying.
what your favorite is. Excuse you for stealing my turn.
Excuse
I didn't steal your turn. You're so
me, princess.
You're.
Oh,
your
I
turn's
actually
still
I get
going.
that reference. I feel like Captain America. There you go. I understood that reference. Yeah.
So,
Sorry, Jesse. Go on.
anyways, and just the journey he takes, the
Yeah.
completion of everything that happens, he redeems himself at the end of the movie.
Right.
Just the presence and how he's set up, the voice, the mystery behind it. Just I love Darth Vader.
Yeah.
I can't
Awesome.
I can't argue against
Awesome.
it. My second choice for a villainy, and this stems from also another childhood memory of mine.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z character known as Frieza.
Oh yeah.
And I know you don't watch Dragon Ball Z.
No.
But she's a pretty good villain though.
I've heard of.
I know. I'm just screwing with you.
But to jump
Okay.
over the table. I thought it was a girl that like
Okay.
when I was a kid too. I was
Well,
like,
he's
"This is a
voiced
girl."
by a woman.
Yeah,
For
and I even put in parentheses the original voice.
Yeah.
Nothing against the voice actor that does Frieza now. I just prefer the original voice of Frieza. It was I think a little better. But there's a part when Goku is fighting Frieza that Frieza picks up his best friend Krillin and destroys him,
literally blows him up.
blows him up.
Wow.
He's screaming and Frieza picks him up and just blows him up with
Jeez.
From the inside out.
yeah from the inside out.
Yikes.
And if you've seen Dragon Ball, Goku's already brought Krillin back to life once, and saved him, and he grew up with him. It's his childhood friend. It's his best friend. And that moment is what turns Goku into what's known as a Super Saiyan. It's the very beginning part of this Super Saiyan legacy.
Back when transformations
when
were
it was a
important.
big deal,
Yeah.
and that
Right.
happened, and everybody was
Okay.
like, he just transformed, and like the anger and the emotion that he had when it happened. Frieza made that happen because of how
Wow.
evil and just didn't care. I
Yeah.
want to kill all your friends. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it just the emotion it built up was that's one of my favorite parts in Dragon Ball Z.
Wow.
Is that moment. Third, I think you'll like this one. Of course, you may not. I think Jacob will. Okay. Lawson, I don't think you've watched these.
You're gonna know exactly what we're talking.
You're gonna know exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly what we're talking about.
Professor Umbridge.
Oh yeah,
I actually do know what you're talking about.
Yes.
So I will admit I have not done a lot of reading.
Yeah. Dolores
Umbridge from Harry Potter.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm gonna say the book version. It's one of the few things I've read that just made me. I remember reading it and I was so angry.
Oh yeah.
The hate I had for this woman was intense.
Yes.
I read it and the things she did to him were just mean and cruel.
Yes.
And for like no reason.
It was on such a, like you said, a cruelty on a personal level. Because if you have this big malevolent presence like Lord Voldemort, it's to a scale to where you're like, okay, that's the big baddie.
Yes.
And that's, in my mind, it's like, okay, I understand where he's come from. He's like the Darth Vader of the, wizarding world. But Professor Umbridge, she cut deep.
She did.
She cut deep. She, you've never wanted to physically punch a person, or not just punch, but I don't know.
You wanted, it's one of those moments.
I'm trying to describe.
You want to jump into the movie screen and you want to punch her in her stupid face, or jump into the book and find her and choke her out. Like that feeling. Yeah. I don't know if you can relate to that.
No, I totally.
I'm not a sadist.
110%. Yeah, me neither. I 110% relate to you. Yeah.
Or not. I use that. So I'm not a mentally ill person. Yeah.
Psychopath.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not one of those. One of those people.
Right.
Psycho.
But no, it's it's well deserved.
Yes.
My hatred for her.
Yes. Definitely.
That character is a very hateable character, which makes, in my opinion, a good villain.
J.K. Rowling in general, she's good at writing hateable characters. I've come to know.
Yeah, I would agree.
Very good at it.
On purpose.
On purpose, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the purpose. But whatever.
Yeah.
No, not always. Sometimes you can write a hateable character and it's not intended.
I think it was her illustration of.
Hey, you were talking about 2 weeks ago, the character on Gundam.
Camille Badon.
Who probably wasn't intentionally supposed to be hateable, but you.
No, he's just not a good character.
He is annoying.
Yes.
But, anyways, I will pass on.
Actually, I want to go last. So
yeah, go for it.
And I also do have some honorable mentions that I will mention later.
Okay.
If we can come back around to that.
So I'll start off with the repeat. I also like Darth Vader. I think you're 100% correct about him not actually necessarily being a very effective villain within his universe.
It's the same concept as Indiana Jones accomplished nothing in Raiders, right? I mean,
he was unneeded because no matter what in Raiders it would have ended up the same way.
Yeah. Right.
But Frieza does more than Darth Vader does in the
I
trilogy.
would agree with that.
But the reason I like him is I kind of picked 3 different people that were a little bit more based on the types of villains I like than necessarily my 3 favorite of the same kind of villains. You know what I mean?
I did the same thing.
So the reason I picked Darth Vader is he represents that I really like. I tend to hate anti-heroes. I don't think they're very often done well. They're supposed to be sympathetic and I'm not. Darth Vader, they somehow managed to make in episode 6 specifically this.
Very true.
What I find so amazing is just the work of the cinematography and the score and even the acting, everything. But they managed to make this character who has no. I still consider it one of the. I know I keep interrupting myself, but has no. I consider it one of the greatest moments in all of cinema. I don't think it's been topped. Is specifically when spoilers for episode 6.
It's fine.
Yeah,
not really.
But when Luke is being shocked to death.
Yeah.
And Vader is looking back and forth. He somehow managed to take a character who is an unlikable, terrible. He's like a
very true
villain who has no facial expression, is not speaking in that moment, has a mask, there is no, and yet managed to make you feel his confliction and feel empathy for him. And I think that's one of the.
That's so true. Even I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Even when he's introducing his son to the Emperor, you can tell that there's this connection between them. This actual father and son connection between them.
And that's.
You can feel that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best moments in all of cinema is just anything in the throne room. And the reason. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna attribute that to James Earl Jones.
A lot of it is
amazing.
He does a lot of it, but I think I wish I knew his name. But the guy that was in the suit, actually, what was his name too?
Oh yeah, gosh, what was?
I know,
his...
like
that's
Lawrence
sad.
Fishburne.
That's not right. I know who
It was
that is. But anyway, see,
yeah,
but
it was
like,
Dana Carvey, wasn't it?
the
Yeah.
physical,
Dana Carvey did it. Yeah,
the physical acting was, I think, also.
it was there.
And
Oh,
so
yeah.
for
it-
sure.
By far.
It just
By
so
far.
that's what I think is what I like about it is it's one of the few moments because as you all know I hate everything. I even hate things that you're supposed to love, but they managed to make me feel for this robot dude in a suit who was a mass murderer, and even before the prequels, he still like is condoning blowing up a planet. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
this
right.
This is a terrible human being, and they managed
Right.
to actually make me feel for him, which I think is an impressive feat.
I don't think he condoned it though.
Did he not?
No, he just stood there. Didn't
Isn't
like
it-
stop
okay, well,
anything.
he didn't try
That
to-
was all Moff talk.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he's
David Prowse.
David Prowse.
Okay.
Major props. Look,
Yes,
because we all know
perfect.
how great James Earl Jones did, and he did. I don't want to, but
Right.
David Prowse.
David Prowse.
David Prowse.
I
British actor.
think deserves more respect than he gets for the physical acting.
I would agree.
Yeah, definitely.
But so that's Darth Vader. That's what I think he does. It's just an amazingly good job for making a villain sympathetic. Oh gosh, I just remembered another. I won't ramble about it because I already did that. But another great example of that is Kamui from Psycho-Pass 2. Surprisingly sympathetic villain. Okay, no one knows who this. Never mind.
only
I haven't
watched
seen
season
season
two.
two.
Okay.
I wanna watch
Cricket,
season
Season
one.
2's
Yeah,
better than
it's
season
okay.
1. Kamui is one of the best villains ever, but that's
I
kind of
will
why
check that out.
That's why I didn't pick him, is because no one knows what that is. But it's possibly even better. I don't know. I don't want to say.
Side note: Psycho-Pass is a really good
Oh yeah.
show.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed the first season. I want to watch.
Second, I think is even better. Unpopular opinion, but anyway. So moving on. Second is game villain Kefka from Final Fantasy VI. I think he is a better Joker than the Joker is most of the time. I think he is phenomenal.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Kefka
Okay.
from Final
As,
Fantasy.
like
He's
the
a
idea
mad-
of the.
He's
of the
a
okay,
clown.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So the whole thing
Gotcha.
is, he's a. In this world, magic doesn't exist, and they're trying to revive it through all sort. There's like research into ancient magic, and then they're trying to recreate it through science.
Okay.
He's a failed experiment, right? And so they put him in these like I don't know. They put him in this test tube, and they this is all backstory too. And they drives him insane. He gets the ability to use magic, but it drives him insane. And he's like the gag joke character throughout the entire thing, and he's really ineffective and terrible person. Like he poisons a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And does he's got a. And he poisons a bunch of people, and he's just like every time you fight him, he just runs away because he's so pathetic. And then the evil emperor is about to take over the world and absorb all magic. And spoilers for Final Fantasy VI, I guess. Okay. Kefka jumps up and stabs him and goes, "I'm God now!" and literally wins. He absorbs the magic of the creators of this world, becomes a literal god, and destroys the world. And he only like wins because he gets bored and like just kind of destroys things and goes and doesn't do anything after that. And then they beat him later, but like so he's great because.
Dude.
Not everyone needs to. I think that, like I said, the Darth Vader is a sympathetic villain. I don't think everyone needs to be sympathetic. He is just crazy and it's
Chaotic.
wonderful. And like I said, I think he's a better Joker than Joker is. And then my final one, the greatest villain of all time, in my opinion, is Legato Blue Summers from Trigun, because he is amazing.
And Trigun is
my favorite anime of all time.
So it's a show?
He's Vash's twin brother, right?
So
No.
Is he the one who controls the dead people?
Yeah, no. He's got mind control, which is actually related to this. He's the guy that can mind control people.
Yeah. He's the one that actually makes Vash kill him, right?
Yes, spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that.
do you want to explain Trigun to Jacob real quick? Just real quick.
Oh, we have.
Yeah,
we have.
Trigun's
but
like
these titles are so interesting. Trigun.
Trigun's a steampunk sci-fi western. That's Vash the Stampede. He's the main character. Anyway, and in this, again, I think I've mentioned this as he was a better Superman than Superman is. In this world, he's usually, he's basically, his whole thing is I don't want to hurt anyone, or I don't want to kill anyone, even the bad guys. And so he can go through the first half of the show without having to actually kill anyone.
And he uses guns.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
But he's so effective. But then the second half of the show, he starts running into people who are as powerful as him, and he's forced to make these increasingly difficult sacrifices to avoid killing absolutely anyone. And then he finally gets to Legato, who is every bit his match. So this is one of the few times where mind control I actually think is used effectively. And this character, he can only seem to mind control certain people. He can't mind control Vash, for instance, but he can mind control kind of just simple side people, and there's limits on it, and they don't explain it as well as I'd necessarily like, but it's still not used as a plot crutch. It's used as an important, like, it works. And so and I've said this before, but the spoilers for Trigun, and I mentioned this, Vash's whole thing is I won't kill anyone, even the bad guys. He finally gets to this point where Legato has set himself up as this huge villain, threatened him, been toying with him this whole time, and he gets this entire town of people surrounding and holding down, and about to like kill or I don't know, maybe rape. They're a little vague on it, like his friends. And he says like, "You can stop it if you just kill me." And Vash, like, there's like this 5-minute like beautiful scene of him like like breaking down and weeping and trying to get him stop.
Oh my
And again,
gosh.
spoiler, he finally is forced to break his oath never to kill anyone and kills that guy to save his friends.
Wow.
And it's the greatest moment ever.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
such an effective villain moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my number one pick.
Awesome. Okay, let me just say this. Even as like a writer, villains are my favorite. I love writing villains. I love villains. I love them, and I have a very vast knowledge of villains and which ones that I could choose from. So basically, I can't even do honorable mentions because it would go on for too long. So, like I said, there's so many for me to choose from, but I'm just gonna narrow it down to my favorite villain cinematically,
Right.
my favorite villain from a TV series,
Mm-hmm.
and my favorite villain from actually my favorite literary villain.
Okay, yeah.
So,
I'm excited about that.
okay, cinematically, this is going to sound so generic.
Dude, we picked two of us picked Darth Vader.
Yes, very true. Okay, now here's the thing. My experience with the movie The Dark Knight. Okay,
Oh.
you know where this is going.
Yeah.
It's actually not what you think it is. When I first saw The Dark Knight when I was younger, I actually did not entirely like it. I didn't get it.
Okay.
And the second time I saw it, of course, I fell in love with it.
Right.
And the Heath Ledger's Joker. Now, here's the thing. He's the best Joker for the Nolan universe, I would say. So, Bobby, you're making a face.
Oh no, we talked about this earlier, and we knew you were gonna go Heath Ledger Joker.
Really?
Yes.
I bet.
Okay.
I actually bet. I said that was one of my honorable mentions, and I bet Bobby. I said I'm not gonna put that down as my list because I think Jacob's gonna say that.
I am. Yeah.
But that was really one I would put on my list.
No, because I am one of the biggest. The Joker is one of my favorite villains of all time. Okay, he could be one of my favorite villain of all time, but he's one of my favorite villains of all time so far. And Heath Ledger Joker, here's the thing. I could say what everybody else says about him, which was like, oh my god, he brought everything the Joker is to the table, and he did. Yeah. But I think he's specifically perfect for the Nolan universe for Batman. Mm-hmm. Because you could not put him in Keaton's universe. You couldn't put him in...
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right about that.
His version of the Joker would not work for any other universe, but that one specifically. I would say so.
I was thinking DCEU right now. He might work.
Might, but still, for now, I'm gonna say.
No, dude, that's too much talent.
But
It would break out.
he is the best version out of all of them.
Definitely.
By far.
But here's the thing, and on top of all that,
Jack Nicholson. I'm just saying.
Jack Nicholson was great, but that's Jack Nicholson.
I'm gonna throw this out. The greatest Joker is Mark Hamill, but
Oh,
that's
no. I agree with
Well,
you.
I was just talking live action.
In a way.
Live action.
I agree with you in a way, Bobby. But cinematic villains, in general, he's my favorite because I don't know, something about him just compels you. You know what I mean?
It's very good.
He captured you. You were there, and he wasn't there to be sympathetic either. He was pure cruel evil, but just on this chaotic level. And not only that, but Heath Ledger as an actor, let's just give him props there.
Oh, definitely.
He didn't have to do that good, but he did. As an actor myself, it's like, and what?
He locked himself in a room for like 6 days.
He did.
Never came out.
Eight
I don't think
months.
that's healthy.
Was it 8 months?
Well, okay, he didn't lock himself in a room. Okay, to clarify Heath Ledger's journey, a lot of people get things mixed up about it, but you have to understand that Heath Ledger wanted to be taken seriously as an actor. That's what, especially after A Knight's Tale, when he was considered a heartthrob at that time. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Don't bad talk that movie.
Serious.
Do
I'm
not bad talk that movie.
Hey,
I love that movie.
Hey, rein it in. Rein it in. No.
Actually, no. This applies. This applies
during
what
that
you're
time.
saying.
Yeah, during that time he was. No, what were you gonna say?
No. I was gonna say, compared to the things he's done in the past.
Yeah,
he
did teen movies.
Well,
10
look
Things I Hate About You. And,
10 Things I Hate About
Yeah.
You. He's a different character in that. And,
Yeah.
in my opinion, in A Knight's Tale, he's a completely different character.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's like, okay, he plays those people, and that's considered, like teenish heartthrob movies. So after that, he's not being taken as seriously as he wants to as an actor, so he wants to dedicate himself to the craft. So that's why he goes to more serious movies like Brokeback Mountain, and then he goes to Lawson.
Something funny about Brokeback Mountain.
I wish I could quit you. I can never hear that. I just think I've seen it.
so.
Okay, but and then the Dark Knight, where he just pours his heart and soul into a performance, and you can't recognize him in that role. You see the Joker, so that's just amazing. And I've gone on so much about it, But yeah, so that's why the Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker, is my favorite cinematic villain. TV series villain. I don't know if Lawson, you watched Lost too, right?
No.
You didn't?
I watched Lost.
Because
Bobby watched
Warren.
Lost.
Me and him both watched Lost, so are you gonna go?
We talked a lot about Lost, and I know the general
Benjamin
plot,
Linus?
so I
Oh,
was
is
able
that
to
what you're about to
contribute to the
Oh, okay.
discussion.
Wow.
I haven't actually
I
watched
would have
it.
believed you watched it.
I've watched
Ben
eight,
Linus.
I've watched 8
No.
episodes.
Ben Linus was never a villain. He was never a. He was fun. I never wanted him to die because he's just too much fun. But Ben Linus got weird. It got to a point where everyone's like, "Ben, why did you pee on Kate while she was sleeping?" "I did it for the island, Jack." Like it was.
Yeah, it was strange.
It got nuts. So, anyways, I do
totally-
everything for the
totally.
island. I was about to take a dump on your chest while you were.
Did he pee on her?
No, he didn't. That was a joke.
I was like-
that was
I
a
was
joke.
like-
That was a joke.
I was like, did he pee on her? I don't remember him.
But you
peeing on
believed
her.
it 'cause it
That
sounds like
would've
something
been
that- yeah.
weird, but I was into it.
Actually, I'm going to go with the Man in Black.
Oh yeah.
Because I love the fact that he was so vague and mysterious and threatening in 90% of the show. But once he's revealed, there is a sympathetic aspect to his arc. There really is. I mean, here's this guy, literally born with no name. It's almost like he wasn't even supposed to be born. It's almost like from the get-go, like, destiny knew he would be evil. And then in the end, he's just this demonic entity, but at the same time, he can communicate with you on a human level. And I think that's just amazing. So,
Who's the actor that played him?
Titus Weaver.
okay.
Is that
okay.
the same guy?
Oliver. He also played played in Supernatural.
The devil. Who's
The
the devil?
devil.
No, that's Mark Pellegrino. He
Yeah,
played
I'm getting-
Jacob.
you're right.
He played Jacob, the guy in
Yeah,
white. That's why I
yeah,
get
he
my
played the
mixed up.
devil in Supernatural.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, I don't know. I love that. So, yeah, and not only that, but just like the whole, I don't know, just something about that really got me, really captured me. And literary. I almost considered, did you ever read a series of unfortunate events?
Yes.
Okay, Count Olaf. Literary
That's fair.
Count Olaf. None of the TV show or the movie Count Olaf.
Have you not watched the series?
I have watched the series. They do not do him justice.
Oh really?
Oh, you would
Yeah,
be no.
agreed.
Okay, here's the
I
thing.
read all the books.
Oh,
so-
trust me. When Count Olaf was on the scene, he was not funny. He was not charming. He was not whimsical. He wasn't Barney Stinson
He was funny, but
in the worst way
in a
possible.
very different way.
in a
from-
very horrible, dark
in,
way.
in like he's such a terrible person. It's almost humorous.
Yeah,
Oh.
but not on a like. Okay, when
He
I
wasn't
wa-
cracking jokes.
exactly, he wasn't. He didn't have a bunch of quips. When I see
It's
Neil.
Barney Stinson with a beard.
Thank you,
And a
thank you.
unibrow.
It is Barney Stinson. Thank you. It's nuts. It's like, okay, when you read the books and when Count Olaf came onto the scene, you were petrified as a reader. You were like, oh, you're done. You're screwed. Like it's over.
I just want to comment real quick.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. I actually even think that Jim Carrey was closer to the books.
In a
than-
way, yeah, because at
still
least
not accurate, but it
still
was
not accurate, but at
closer.
least there was a threatening part of it, aspect of it, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. So yeah, you're right about that. And so yeah, that's my thing. I almost chose Count Olaf because I remember reading the books, being like, "Oh my god, please!" But no, I went with okay, it's this series called So Underrated, Pendragon.
You mentioned it before.
I
yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Did you
There's
mention that in the first episode?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite book series of all time. Here's the thing. So the whole premise of, in a nutshell, of Pendragon is that there's like 10 worlds, 10 planets.
Okay.
They're called territories, and each territory has a traveler.
Sorry.
All right. Has a traveler, like a person that protects that world,
Okay.
and they can travel to other worlds and protect those worlds as well.
Okay.
So, having that said, the person who just tries to destroy each world, his name is Saint Dane. He was just, oh my god, he was evil, he was cruel, he was vile, and he definitely wanted to destroy. Basically, his goal was to destroy worlds, and I don't know if this is a spoiler, maybe, I don't know, but destroy worlds and create his own, okay? That's basically his thing. But my gosh, he was just so compelling and exciting. And his thing was, in each book, he could shapeshift, okay? He could make himself look like, he could shapeshift. So, and you never knew who he was in each book. You had to figure it out.
That's exciting.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
So Pendragon, he goes to another planet, and he's trying to not only learn the people and learn how the planet works, but he's constantly on edge, trying to know, okay, where's Saint Dane? Saint Dane is here.
Yeah.
And he's disguising himself as maybe a politician or maybe a very high official as a ploy to destroy this world.
Bro, I'm going to recommend to you the Mistborn series. If you like that,
Yeah.
there's some similar-ish things that
Okay.
show up.
Gotcha.
Just go throw that out there. Go on, though.
Yeah. But that's just what made Saint Dane so
That sounds really good.
exciting. The moment he turns up, the first time he pops up, it was so cool. You know, main character is with his uncle in an abandoned subway station, and there's this cop that comes in, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing here? What's the cop doing here?" And the cop turns out to be Saint Dane.
Yeah.
It's just super cool, and that's your first introduction to Saint Dane, and it's so cool. And the last book, the end fight between Saint Dane and the main character is one of the best paragraphs or 2 pages I've ever read in my entire life. So,
All right.
having that said, yeah, Saint Dane.
So this is just a book series. It hasn't been animated.
It hasn't been. Here's the thing. It's shockingly, and I hope to God it never will until I can get a hold of it and make something out of it. Because, but no, and that's the thing. DJ McHale, the guy who wrote the series, he is a producer, a television producer, director, and writer. And it's shocking that he hasn't come out with anything about it yet. But here's the thing. It would take a big budget.
Yeah.
It really would. It would take a gigantic budget. But yeah, it hasn't been made into comics or a TV series or an animation series or a movie or anything like that. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
One left.
Alrighty. Well, because I am me, and I picked.
Who are you?
Yeah. I picked none of what you guys picked out.
Yeah.
It's great.
Mine are not. I didn't choose any literary people because I'm a little bit more. Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to go with Stansfield, played by Gary Oldman in The Professional.
Not
know
Drexel
exactly
from True
what you're
Romance.
talking
Come on,
about.
man.
No. in The Professionals, Gary
I gotcha,
Oldman plays
I gotcha.
Stansfield, who is a corrupt cop.
Okay.
Yes.
And he only has one scene of pure villainy, and it's so bad. He just goes into a house, goes into an apartment. He has people watching outside with a shotgun, kills an entire family. Kills the entire family, has no guilt on it. And before that, he just pops a pill and he just stretches out and he listens to classical music the whole time. He's so good.
Oh my God.
And you might know him from people use this clip. You know, they're like, "You wanted me to send everybody, everyone."
Yeah.
He's so
Oh my
amazing.
gosh.
It is a really good scene.
And there's scenes where it's like him and then a young Natalie Portman.
Yep.
That are just electrifying. He's so good. Gary Oldman is amazing. If you have never seen The
yes.
Professional, you should.
Yeah.
You'll have to get past the weird Natalie Portman trying to hook up with an old man thing, but it's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
But that's kind of more of a heartfelt. Like the little girl looks up to him, almost as a father figure, but he's not her dad, so she's kind of confused on how to handle that. You're making a weird face, but it's really it makes sense
within the context of the story. It works.
It really does, but it is a fantastic
it is a
movie.
great
I
movie.
really
I love
highly
that movie
recommend
so
it. He's
much.
basically training her to become an assassin.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I'm going to go opposite because I have a few more than you guys. Opposite of Jesse, I'm going to go with Cell in DBC because he's Frieza, but he's a lot more grandiose.
He's definitely grandiose.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
I
a
agree
lot
with
more
that
grandiose,
choice.
and like
Instead of
his
destroying the world, he makes a tournament just for the fun.
yeah, just to get to it, and then like at the end, he's the one who gets Gohan to that level, which they messed up after this season,
that's
but
where it
like
shoulda-
yeah, that's where it should have gone to Gohan's story, not go back to Goku. But his whole Cell's is just so grandiose, and I love villains who are grandiose. Honorable mention on the grandiose idea is M. Bison from Street Fighter, Raul Julia, who's also over the top and grandiose.
Of course.
No, but the Cell thing though, I mentioned Frieza on mine, but the Cell thing is like almost the exact same thing with Gohan.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of symbolism because instead of Frieza killing Krillin,
He kills Android
he kills
13.
Android
16. 16, yeah.
which is Gohan made friends with this android, and Cell steps on his head and destroys him, and Gohan is so angry because this guy was Android 16 was bad, and he learned how to appreciate life as an android robot man, and Gohan kind of helped him get to that level, and then he gets killed.
Okay.
And then he has the same type of transformation, and it's the same exact moment, like recreated, except it's the guy's son.
Yes.
So.
Next is my TV one. Arthur Mitchell from Dexter season 4, which is my it is my reserved villain who's more organized. He thinks about what he's going to do before he does it, but he's the only villain in Dexter's entire show where it got to the point where Dexter was like, I gotta take this guy out now. Where he pushed Dexter over the edge, and that was just like him visiting his house for like a day. Like that was it. And like John Lithgow is such an underrated actor. He's
really is.
so good.
Not fuck what. Yeah.
yeah. He's just like, you're watching it and you can sense the evil that his family hates him, but they're too scared to do anything.
Wow.
And he won an Emmy for it.
Yeah.
But he's so good at it. Like
I still need to start on season 4. I'm like, I keep telling myself I'm not ready.
Listen, season 4 is the best season to me.
Okay.
It's
It
like
really
1 and
is.
4, but 4 is like it's that's the season where it just like they that's their peak point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was on my list, John Lithgow.
Yeah.
And he's on my honorable mentions list. But I cheated and I talked to you before the show, and I made sure I had a feeling that was going to be on your list. So
Yes. Then Voss from Far Cry 3. I picked different mediums.
Yes.
Voss from Far Cry 3 is amazing.
Okay.
He's like here's the thing. He should have been the main antagonist through the whole game because he shows up more than anything. And then they kill him off. They pull a Luke Cage and kill him off, and they give us a worse bad guy who's not as compelling or good. He starts out by killing your friends and your brother in the game. And then he keeps running into you, and he like his most intensifying scene is like, do you know the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Then he repeats it. Do you know the definition of insanity?
and
He keeps on
saying
repeating
it over
it.
and over and over
okay,
again. This
yeah.
is how he's standing over you with was it a knife?
Yeah,
He's
like,
saying it's
it
like a
is-
knife, and he's kind of like playing with it
Yeah.
a little bit.
Sharpening it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
cool
it's
stuff.
he's so good.
Cool stuff.
My last two I put in the same category
Okay.
because they're more kind of zealot situations. They're a little bit different, but Miss Cromartie, played by Marcia Gay Harden in The Miss, who is a Jesse knows what I'm talking about.
Have you seen The Mist?
We've talked
I
about it a
hate
ton.
that movie. I absolutely
She is
despise that movie.
fantastic.
No,
I
she's
do too.
horrible. Everybody in that movie is horrible. That is a horrible movie.
That is not a horrible movie.
It's the
I
worst
disagree with
movie
you.
I've ever
I
seen
love
in
that
my
movie.
entire life. I hate that
Marcia Gay Harding in that movie
I feel like
is
Lawson
like
right now.
Yeah.
Ooh, this feels good.
Channel
Is
it.
this your world?
Channel it.
No, let me-
feel your hate.
the great thing about her character is like just like Miss Umbridge.
She's annoying and she makes you want to slit your
You
wrists.
hate her.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
She
the
wants
same
to
feeling.
sacrifice people she thinks is missed, and these monsters came from God to
Right.
bring down the
was the 11th
sinners.
plague.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Go on
Yeah.
to explain the ending of that story.
No, we've talked about that.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Let's spoil the heck out of it.
I
'cause
love
it's-
that ending.
Oh, it's pathetic.
I
actually.
love that
Kills
ending.
his son,
it's
and then it's
fantastic.
fine right after. And if he had just
So,
waited, it would have
I do
been.
have a
Which is
personal. I do
stupid.
have
It
a-
makes the entire movie pointless.
I have a personal story about this movie. Bobby recommended this to me years ago. I watched it. With,
That was your first warning.
I watched it with my mom, and she was so pissed.
Oh my gosh.
At the end of the movie, she was like, "What?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Jesse,
Why?"
I wanted to.
Jesse, that's like, hey, is this, my friend recommended this like family-friendly movie, Schindler's List.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we should just check that out.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing because I was like,
Gosh.
"This is why he recommended this movie."
Even though I absolutely like that ending, you can hate it. I loved it.
Okay.
It's a fantastic ending to me. but she's a zealot. Like she believes that like by doing this, and this also goes into my other guy because I put them in the same category. Which he never really gets named. The operative in Serenity, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor from 10 Years a Slave and
12 Years Slave?
Yeah, 12 Years a Slave. He plays the main bad guy now, and he's kind of like her, but a little bit different. He's more reserved, but he also, like, he knows what everything he does is wrong. He goes to a whole planet and kills everybody just to make a point to Mal and in his crew. He knows that, he even says it. He's like, I'm a monster. I know this. This world that I think that I'm fighting for, I can never go back to because I'm horrible. And that's I like villains who believe what they're doing is wrong, but it needs to be done. And that's his character.
If you like that, you should check out it's another book. I'm blanking. Elantris. Sorry, Elantris. You should check that out. It handles that kind of thought process, the villain in that. Somewhat similar, but very compelling. I genuinely think you'd like it if you checked it out.
But
I got the audiobook.
Yeah, but like I absolutely love this villain. If you haven't seen Serenity, you should. I know the Firefly people, but it's like those are my favorite bad guys. I mean, my honorable mentions, like I said, Raul Julia, M. Bison, Agent Smith.
Hans Gruber,
definitely.
It's just I love Hans Gruber.
Bill Clay.
I love Hans Gruber, and it's.
Hello,
but Hans
cowboy.
Gruber's like he's only as good as his good guy.
Yeah.
Like if you would have put anybody else as John McClane, I don't know if he would have been as good.
John McClane.
Definitely not.
So I do have a list of honorable mentions, if that's cool.
I thought you already did them.
No.
I
said John Lithgow was on my list, but I don't have to bring him up again.
Okay.
But Jeffrey Dean Morgan in Walking Dead as Negan.
Okay.
Great villain, despite what you think of the show now.
Sure. No, he does a great job at that performance, definitely.
I'll say Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. I like his villainy in that and how he becomes.
Didn't you say he becomes
he becomes a good guy?
Vegeta
so
becomes
that's
and then
why
a bad guy and then a good guy again.
Yep. Yes.
he has the best
Interesting.
story character arc in all of Dragon Ball Z.
Shishiro from
Rurouni Kenshin.
Rurouni Kenshin, season 2.
That's the main villain.
He's the guy that's wrapped up like a mummy.
Dude, yeah, he's the main villain of the whole series, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Dude,
The only ones that count. He's a great villain.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic villain.
agreed. He was an honorable mention for me too,
Yeah.
actually.
And then Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Django.
Ooh, you mean
Oh,
Django?
The
the D
Django.
is silent.
Django, whatever.
what's
you
his
want
name?
No, he says the D is silent in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
The
Django says the D is silent.
the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio should have gotten Emmy for.
Definitely.
that
Oscar. Yeah.
Oscar.
The Oscar. Sorry. I
Yeah,
missed
definitely. I agree. Yeah. Not
If they
Frieza
mattered-
in the Rebel.
No,
would
not for
agree.
the other one.
Not Hugh Glass.
No. That's the role he should have.
For John Candy. Yeah.
John Candy, is that the name?
Or
of the-
Calvin Candy, I think it is.
Calvin
Sorry.
Candy.
I think John Candy's a actor.
I think it was worth mentioning.
I thought
So
it was a
yeah, no,
character from
that's-
Magic
yeah.
Mike.
It
Huh?
is.
John Candy.
How would you know, Lawson?
It sounds like a
Isn't
stripper name.
John
Oh,
Candy
that
was
was the
the
joke.
Magic.
John Candy.
John Candy was Uncle Buck.
Yeah, I was
he would
about to say, isn't
yeah.
that?
Yeah, but he died in like the 90s. So
He did
him
die in
being
the 90s.
And
he was the coach.
him being in Magic Mike would be
Yeah.
amazing.
He was the coach in Cool Runnings.
He helped Kevin's mom get
Yeah,
back
yeah.
to.
Yes.
Real quick, all of his lines in Home Alone were ad libbed. He
Really?
had no script.
That's amazing.
That
is
actually,
perfect.
Because he had some good lines
Yeah.
in there.
That's great.
Well,
Do you like polka?
I do know we have to take a second for our sponsor too, but isn't it a returning one?
Yeah, it's a returning sponsor.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited
Oh,
about it.
okay.
He's,
yeah.
He's moved on from walkers to babysitting. So
You gotta love these. You gotta.
yeah,
Babysitting.
Hey, go where the market leads, right?
yeah. I guess he's starting his way from like from old to
since
new.
okay.
Babies
Yeah.
R Us, I assume, is suffering. You know. I mean,
Well, because your
Well, it is
market kind of
attached to
drops off as
Toys
the
R
old
Us.
people.
Yeah, I guess he's hitting hard times, and now he needs to make a lot of money. So
Well, I'm glad he came back to
don't,
us.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
we
yeah.
all?
So-
All right. So yeah, let's get to it. We'll be back.
hello, I'm back again. Christopher Walken. I'm not making walkers anymore. I'm babysitting for you. Bring your kids over to me, and I'll babysit them. I don't care how old they are, as long as they're under the age of 2. After that, I don't have to want to clean after them that much. I have a high mortality rate. They all stay alive. Occasionally, I can't control what happens. It's not my fault. But I take care of your babies, and I get paid for it. That's what I like to do. Please, please come to Christopher Walken's Babysitters. I promise I won't sleep with your mother. Please, Christopher Walken's Babysitters. I take care of your babies. All right, and that's how I got away from Donald Trump.
Uzbekistan.
Wow.
Anyways,
that's incredible.
Yeah. Wow. Phew. Yeah, I'm sweating. Anyways,
Okay, this is my turn.
Yes.
I'm taking over.
Take over.
Wait.
Take over.
Or court is now.
Wow.
We're just gonna destroy
I
everything.
felt the earth.
Good.
Move.
Okay, so we're playing a short game that is going to be terrible, but I thought it'd be funny, and somehow I suckered these guys into agreeing to do it. So, we are playing a game, what did I even call it? I'm trying to remember now. Okay, good at being bad.
Good at being bad.
So we've mentioned, this was actually brought on by thinking about Darth Vader and something you mentioned. I thought about something you mentioned beforehand, which was the idea that some of the villains that we really like aren't necessarily the most effective villains in their universe.
Well, Darth Vader doesn't do enough to warrant him being the bad guy. Because at most he cuts off his son's arm and then kills a couple of nobodies, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well, I heard somebody say, sorry, we need to get into it, don't we?
Yeah, I don't care. Go for it.
No, I was about to say, I heard somebody once told me that their favorite villain was Lord Sidious because he's just evil for no reason, just to be evil, and he loves it.
That's
he
fair.
loves being evil. There's no explanation.
Do it.
He doesn't need it. He's just evil, and he loves being evil. I think that's pretty interesting.
I've picked out 6 villains, and maybe a bonus 7th one, who we're going to go quick, rapid fire, and we're going to vote on whether we think they're basically good at being evil or kind of inept if you think about it.
Okay.
So first off, is Darth Vader. Do you think he's actually good at actually being a good villain, or do you think he's in the original trilogy?
The original trilogy.
Not how cool he is, because he is cool, but is he?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Does he get a lot accomplished as a villain, is what you're asking?
Basically, yeah. Is he good at being bad? Is he good at being a villain?
Honestly...
Is he an effective villain?
We all have to say it at once, right?
I'm going to go ahead and say
No,
it.
you can just vote.
Is it yes or no?
He's
Is
not.
it yes
no.
or no?
Basically, yeah, it's a yes or no.
Okay.
He's not an effective villain.
Oh, rip my heart out. No. Rip my heart out and put it back in me. I hate that I answered that way. But you're right. I mean, I can't deny it.
I would say yes.
He's a good character, just not.
He's a good character. I don't think he's a good villain.
I think he's a good villain. I don't know.
Okay, so that's 3. We're overall. No, we're doing
You're talking about evil, evil,
doing evil,
things.
getting
Yeah.
your evil goals accomplished.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
stuff
that
like
too, but I mean, I don't know.
There's an argument there.
I think
I'm not
he's-
gonna
I
lie,
think
but your
he's-
criteria, I'm gonna
I
say
know.
no.
I think he's real quick because we're not supposed to talk too much, but I think he's kind of net because Obi-Wan, even though he kills and that plays right into Obi-Wan's hands, he is conflicted and kind of lets Luke get away with some stuff that maybe he shouldn't. So I'm going to vote no too.
At least until I get my Darth Vader standalone movie.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get back.
No,
to
no.
it.
I mean, I'll admit
Well,
this.
I'm just talking original trilogy right now.
His scene in Rogue One was amazing. It really shows Darth Vader as this evil dude.
So true.
Yeah.
But after that,
That was the best part of that movie.
God,
By
it's just-
far.
he gets shot down, and then he just cuts off his son's arm. And
Oh no, you're making me change
Right.
my answer now. This is that cuts
No,
deep.
Rogue One doesn't count. It's just the
Just
original
the
trilogy.
original
True.
trilogy.
Okay. But
so-
I don't know.
The next one, and this is a little vague. I understand that's kind of part of the fun. The Joker, and I don't mean just the film version. I'm more talking various incarnations.
Okay.
Oh
And
no,
specifically the comics.
he's the best.
Totally yes.
Who? What?
The Joker.
What about him?
Is he good at being bad?
Oh,
Is he
of
effective?
course.
He's the
Yeah.
he's the god of being bad.
He really is. I mean, he look up all the heinous things he has done. He accomplishes things.
He sent Commissioner Gordon nude pictures of his daughter.
Oh yeah, and nearly made Commissioner Gordon go insane.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna
Read
vote.
the Killing Joke.
I understand. I'm gonna vote no
why?
because I think that
Objectively, there's a lot against you.
Yeah,
I know.
there's so
There's
much.
1,000 things against you.
No,
Actually,
but I think the reason is he's too inconsistent. There are moments, and he's written where he's written as a very effective villain. There's others where he's not written as an effective villain, and as a person, he's inconsistent enough that sometimes he gets the job done, sometimes he doesn't. I don't think he has a high enough success rate, even though he has high points, and his high point's the highest. But he's got so many points of just being so ineffective that I'm gonna go no.
I very much disagree
That's
with
okay.
you. I really
That's the
do.
game. So
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So Jesse, you
Um,
haven't said.
I did. I said
I didn't
absolutely
hear you, I'm
yes.
sorry.
I said yes before you
This
even
is an
finished the
easy
question.
one.
Just,
Easy
I
one.
guess
Yes and one
like where me and Bobby are coming from, having read the comics.
Comics.
I mean,
Oh, he's got some great
shows-
high points. I just think
Yeah, but no, there's more high points than
He hires a guy to cut off his own face.
I mean, it's
so they
like,
think he's dead.
Yes, it's insane. This guy, yeah. I mean,
He's so
he
good.
does a bunch of crazy stuff. I just don't
He-
think he's that. He
he-
doesn't have a goal.
no,
so
but
it's hard
like,
to be
here's the
effective
thing.
with that
Let me
goal.
explain.
Unpredictably evil. That
Yeah.
fits the being good at
Hang on,
Let me
being evil.
Let me add this real quick. Joker once found out that Harley Quinn was a stripper at a strip club because she thought he was dead and came back, found the guy who owned the place, skinned him, and made him dance on the stripper pole. Skinless.
Yeah, that's demented. So
How is he not a great villain?
I just think he's too inconsistent. I just think his goals.
Standing by it.
no, I mean
Respect.
like no, he's not.
I disagree with you.
I think what you say is consistent is it's different writing for different arcs. That's all it is. It's just
in comic
depending
books-
on who's writing him and which arc he's in, which medium he's in. He
Yeah.
just does different
And I'm
things and
saying
accomplishes
the
different
whole
things.
of the Joker. That's what I think because I think there's arcs or there's writers who write him as a very effective villain at what he's trying to do. There's others where he seems aimless or pointless or can't even accomplish his goals, and I think he's too inconsistent.
I don't know.
Okay. But this is short. We're supposed to short. I'm outvoted. I lose.
Okay.
No, that's okay. Joker's
But no,
voted
what I
is-
will say is where I'm coming from is knowing the plotline of Return of the Joker.
Yeah.
Not only spoilers, should I?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. Spoilers. The plot twist in Return of the Joker is that it's obviously not the Joker, the original Joker. It is it is Jason.
No. It's Tim Drake.
It's Tim Drake. The Joker drove
nanomachine, son.
drove Tim Drake insane, and yeah, the nanomachine.
It depends on which one you watch because there's the edited version.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
Yeah,
unedited version.
unedited was the
The unedited versions where Tim Drake shoots him with his prop gun
Right,
that shoots
right.
out the flag.
yeah, but basically he spends so many weeks psychologically torturing
Torturing him
Robin.
until he
And
just breaks down.
Robin, the adopted son of Batman. I mean, it's insane. He tortures,
so good.
psychologically tortures him. That is demented and evil, and that is an accomplishment right there. I'm coming from that, so I would say yes, definitely.
I'll
So
go for it.
yeah.
Yeah, 3.
In conclusion,
So yeah, that's so far. Darth Vader would be a no by vote. Joker's a yes by vote.
yeah.
Okay, so next, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. I know you don't know that one as well.
I know
I
exactly.
know.
I don't want to take your phrase. I'm not gonna take your phrase. Awesome. You'll
I
keep
know,
it.
but I'm gonna say yes
All right.
because he is
Okay.
like one of the main
Can
people
we? Sorry, go ahead.
who managed to kill somebody in the group,
Mhm.
and it hurt so badly, especially for Cloud,
All right.
and especially if you watched
I think you gotta
the
lean in.
movie. The movie.
Yeah, Advent Children.
Advent Children, like he I mean he shows up at the end, but like to get to that point, like a lot had to be taken.
I'm gonna say yes because he has a big sword,
Well, he's a long sword, not a big sword.
long
Yeah,
sword.
okay,
Excuse me, a
so-
long samurai sword, and he has long hair.
katana.
So, for the love of all that is holy, what is Final Fantasy about?
It's every game's
Don't
different.
ask
so
that
just-
question.
What?
We'll be here all
No,
day.
don't do this to me. Come on.
Each game is like a different story.
Yeah, each
it's
game is
it's way too. It's more complicated than a Hideo Kojima
Yeah.
movie. or-
It's very
I knew it.
convoluted.
I should have known. I should have known.
So
Friggin'
I'm
animes.
going to say no. Here's why, though. Because Sephiroth dies before the start of the game, and the Sephiroth you think you see is actually Genova taking on his form. And Sephiroth actually died ineffectively when Cloud stabbed him in the prequel. The actual Sephiroth has been dead since before then. That's canon to the story. Sephiroth's a super ineffective villain. He dies to a no-name soldier without any powers. Genova just takes his form, and that's where he does all the super crazy stuff later. So
So pretty much what you want to say is ha ha ha, I tricked you?
No, I'm just saying that's what I think.
Because
no.
that's what you just pretty much did.
No.
Did he not just do that?
I'm Switzerland. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
same
not
here.
gonna. I'm not gonna.
I'm gonna be Holland.
See, that's
We
this
still
is
barricade
this is
against
why
I'm gonna
Yes.
go run and jump in my
Like,
giant windmill
Bobby,
bag.
Bobby over
Hide.
here, like, back me up, boys. It's like, no, Bobby, we're not gonna.
no, you're indecisive like an indecisive voter every.
Well, no, I'm
Like
not indecisive.
years.
I don't even know what the
Alright.
show's about, and you guys
So
are like, it's too complicated.
well, it's
to
a
explain,
game, so that's the first
Yeah,
problem.
game. I'm sorry.
So that's 2 yes. No.
So
that
should we
means
switch
that-
to Nova then?
No, because I was actually talking about Sephiroth.
Okay.
But so Sephiroth's a yes. Next is the next is Char from Gundam.
Char is bad.
I don't.
I told you this
yeah.
a few. I don't know this one either. As
All right.
well.
Well,
but
let me
This is what you were mentioning.
let me
earlier.
explain
Okay.
because I've actually watched. This is a
Yeah.
continuation of Gundam stuff. So, Char is the main antagonist from the original Gundam series.
Okay.
But then later he
He has some moments where
He's
he jumps to
very
being
Vegeta.
good,
Mhm.
but he's all about. Basically, he was in a rich family. He was heir to the throne, basically, or heir to the political side of things. His family was murdered, so he has motive.
Yeah.
Where his dad was basically killed, and they took basically his family away from him, and he rose from the top, from trying to get back into that level.
Yeah.
To get back at the political realm. He tricks people into like murders people. In the origin series,
Yeah.
and like he sends he gains this following, but like this one guy finds out whose identity he hides his identity. This kid finds out like who he is. He sends this kid out on the mission, and the kid comes back after completing the mission, which is a hard, and he like shoots him down.
Wow.
And he's like, "Oh, he died in battle." He's bad,
Yeah.
but like the other shows don't really portray that. But I'm like, yeah, he's.
I-
And he tried to drop an entire colony on Earth to kill everyone because he said the Earth was bad,
Wow.
and there's no hope for it. He's
I'm,
bad.
I'm actually gonna say yes as well, which is my first yes. I know I haven't seen the series, but I did a little bit of research on it before I went. He's ruthlessly effective, even though he doesn't always succeed. He's ruthlessly effective. He's very manipulative. I think he gets a lot done. He continues on after he's even died in some media, basically. Like his soul, like gains half of his soul gains its own sentience and like a physical form and like all kinds of crazy stuff. He seemed like he's very good at being bad.
He's a bad guy.
I'm going to say no for one reason. He didn't actually kill Amuro, so I'm going to say no because nobody knows if he killed Amuro or if he didn't kill Amuro.
They're both MIA, right?
Well,
Yes, because they both like fought in space,
Yeah.
but you don't know who actually won. So I'm going to say no.
I
Oh,
know
no.
that the
only
I
for
know
that reason.
I know the novelization afterwards says that they're both KIA, but then the show says MIA. I read up on.
Yeah, you just don't. You never find out.
yeah, they left that open-ended on purpose, I think, because they didn't know if they wanted to come back. There's argument there. I'm not gonna lie, but
So that's 2 yes.
the main hero and Char go down trying to hold a meteor from. Well,
Yeah.
he defeats him basically, and he's trying to hold the colony down for coming onto Earth to destroy the whole Earth.
Wow.
But they disappear and never heard from again. So you're
Basically, the ending of Sonic
you're left
Adventure 2.
You're left to assume that because you know exactly what that is.
Of course.
Anyways, next.
So well, he gets a yes also.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So then Aku from Samurai Jack.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
God, how old?
Is he good? Is he good at being bad?
Bad.
Yes.
Actually, you know what? From the get go, yeah, he is.
he managed to take over the world.
Yep.
The only thing he didn't manage to do was kill Jack, or
Yeah.
So like he managed to do
Oh
everything
yeah,
he
from the
wanted
get
to.
go, from like the opening theme of that of the show.
He keeps Jack from getting back to the past for over 50 years. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Somehow he keeps him from that.
I know only little. Like I said, I haven't seen the full show, but again, I know the basic synopsis, and I agree with that.
He
too.
knows that he's going to be defeated if he faces Jack one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
But he does so well at staying away from him, but still terrorizing him
Yeah.
the same way.
Definitely.
He knows what he's up against. He's very smart.
Yeah.
Very psychologically.
Very
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Very good at being
Vehemently
bad.
psychological.
For sure.
So we all agree Aku then too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Final real one, and then there's the bonus round, then we're done.
Okay, perfect.
Kingpin from the Netflix Daredevil show?
Yes.
I would say yes.
Yes.
I would say no.
From
Of
Okay.
course. We
he
all knew you
slams
were
a
going to say
guy's
no.
head.
He murders
Any
Into a
thug can do.
car
What does he
door.
do that any thug couldn't do?
Yeah, but I mean,
brutal.
still, it's an accomplishment nevertheless.
He
I mean,
tricked the hand. He's murdered a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Made people think that Daredevil was a murderer. Got the police against Daredevil.
He killed Arlie Army.
Harley. That's not the same place. Wrong universe, man. Wrong universe.
Same actor. Sorry, I had to plug that in.
Oh, he also went around catching people for Law and Order.
Oh yeah.
He also tried to tame velociraptors and got eaten.
We're gonna go this route.
Underrated performance, guys.
Jesus Christ.
Underrated performance.
Vincent D'Onofrio is great as the Kingpin. The Kingpin is great.
It is. Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, he killed police officers too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, those are accomplishments.
Just to wrap up, we voted Darth Vader no, Joker yes, Sephiroth yes, Char yes, Aku yes, Kingpin yes.
Yes.
Final one. Tommy Wiseau, not the character he plays, but the actual.
Is he evil?
Oh,
Yeah, is he good at being
my-
bad? Is he good at being a villain and getting
Oh
his
my
goals accomplished?
Gosh.
I think. Wow, this one's good.
Should he- you know what? In the sense of, okay, as artists in film, we don't want people to make bad movies that become successful. In that sense, yes, he's an accomplished villain. But in the sense of like, I mean,
he
didn't accomplish his own goal.
I
which
think
was
he
to
did,
make a
though.
good.
No, because I think he wanted to be famous. I don't.
True.
I think his real goal was to be
I'll
famous,
give
which he
you
is.
Really?
I will say.
I'll give you that.
I will say this.
I'll give you that.
Unintentionally, yes.
I'm going to throw this out as one of out of the two people. I mean, out of four of us, two people have read.
Oh yeah, the
disaster artist.
Yes.
And the things he pulls in that book, he is evil.
Straight up.
Oh no, because like there's multiple things he does in that book. Like he keeps two actors hired on, even though he was going to switch them anyways with other people, just so he could avoid the confrontation.
Yeah.
So he would film both of them.
This is my plug. Listen to the audiobook
Book of
Disaster Artist.
I need to. Okay, is it going to cost me, guys? Because I can't afford anything right now.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Like it's like maybe $15. It was someday if you get a chance, get it. But it's fantastic. Like he won't buy air conditionings for the set, even though it's burning up hot. And the lady who plays Lisa's mom passed out.
Yeah.
He refused to buy them water because he said, "Oh, water. It's just, get your own water. I can't afford to keep on buying people water." Oh, it's fantastic.
But he spent
oh my God.
a ungodly amount of money on the movie.
$6 million on this crappy movie.
But he was nickel-and-diming people.
The amount of people he screwed over on this. Oh, he is evil personified.
So
at this
final
point.
vote. I'm yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
My unintentional, yes.
Yeah, that's fine. That still counts.
C.
All right.
Affirmative.
So that's been good at being bad. That is my hijacking game for the time.
That was a good segment.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Now on to your regularly scheduled podcast.
Yeah. Wow.
I would have said Brett Ratner though.
Brett Ratner.
Brett Ratner, yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
For what he did. They had to retcon everything he did.
Okay. I'm gonna read this.
Okay.
If you're a writer, what kind of villain would you write?
Is that addressed directly to me, or is that?
I don't know. Okay. Let's just do something kind of different. I don't know. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first real quick.
Yeah.
And I wrote something down, and I'm going to read it because I couldn't remember.
I feel like I have a long-winded answer.
Okay. So, this is my idea for a villain. A guy who is good, and there may already be an example, but here it is. A guy who is good his entire life, follows rules, roughs out through most situation. He's a charismatic leader. He inspires others, but one day he gets tired of it. Changes his mind, not because he just can't do it anymore, but because he's gotten bored with being good.
Huh.
So Void.
There may be a good example of that.
I mean, I wouldn't say falling down with Michael Douglas, because like he was kind of already unhinged when he became unhinged. So then there's like the comic book Unredeemable, where it's about Superman going evil.
So I think there's two good examples of this.
Okay.
The first one is, this is a perfect time to plug the thing that I did that you voiced in.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I did a.
I actually played a villain in
Yeah.
an audiobook for Lawson here.
Yeah, little radio dramas. So online at dolanmalna.com, my YouTube, or not .com, but Dolanmalna on YouTube. I do YouTube videos sometimes, and I'm in a competition. I did a little radio drama audiobook thing, and Jesse played the voice of a villain, Descent, who is a pretty great villain in his own right. And the voice was...
It was very fun to play.
It was...
You sound like the main villain from Emperor's New Groove right there.
Yeah.
Or the Kit.
Sure.
Oh my
Yzma?
gosh.
I'll take it.
Yes, Yzma.
But anyway, so your character discussed Void, who is his brother, and I think his plot is very similar to what you said about the guy who was just doing things and then was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to try bad. Second example, more or less, even though it involves some pride, I would say like literally Satan from the Bible.
Okay.
No, for
Wait,
real,
that's
though.
like
Think about that.
that's like favorite. What?
No, think about it for a minute.
It makes sense.
No, like the actual like Satan from the Bible. He's like
You would use him for what?
the plot he's talking about, where you've got like a villain who's just a good guy, great leader. Satan was in charge of the heavenly
Oh,
hosts.
I'm sorry. I thought we were conceiving our own fictional villains.
We are, but I was saying, he
He's
said,
just-
is there an example of that? And I said Satan from the Bible.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is
okay.
good. It is a
We
good
are.
example.
But I was
Gotcha.
just saying, it was just
Sorry,
like-
I
no, he was just asking, is there anything like that? And I was saying,
gotcha.
I do love Satan. Satan's a great character. Oh, he is. He's fantastic.
It's a great villain.
Well, even not even a villain. Lucifer's I think a fantastic TV show, and he's not a villain on that one. It's just he's a great character. Good guy, bad guy, misunderstood, sympathy for the devil. It's
Interesting.
great.
So what's your character, Bob?
Oh, my character. My character is if I wrote my own character, he would be just chaotic. I find chaotic villains easier,
They're fun.
and they're funner they're fun to write. Like they're unhinged. Sometimes their motives don't make sense, but if they want to get something done, they'll do whatever they needs to get done. They'll kill whoever they need to. Those are fun. Like Joker. Unhinged, just crazy. Voss, like I mentioned earlier, unhinged and crazy. Like they're great characters. I know Lawson isn't great, but whatever.
wait, why don't I agree?
What?
No, I'm confused. I like Joker.
Oh.
I don't know Voz one way or the other.
You just said that Joker wasn't a great villain.
No, he said he
I
was-
said he wasn't effective. I think he's very entertaining.
But yeah, that would be my villain. Or female Joker, which there isn't one, but
Martha.
Well,
or another one who claims to be the Joker's daughter, but it
No, man,
hasn't
I'm
been.
talking about like the parallel universe.
Yeah, the Flashpoint where.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one doesn't make sense to me though.
Yeah, me neither.
That absolutely makes no sense.
Especially how they showed it in the movie too. It was like
yeah.
the one part of the movie I vehemently questioned. I'm like, wait a minute, hold up.
How did she become the Joker?
Yeah, they never-
She didn't fall in a vat or anything.
looked
She's
up
just like,
at- yeah. I know. She just looked up at Thomas and smiled. I'm like, okay, you're lucky. 90% of this movie has great writing except for that part.
yeah, I didn't.
Weird.
That's Jeff
have you
Johns
gone?
for you though.
no, you can go. Who do you want to go?
Okay.
Go.
Okay. I guess from a recent story I'm writing.
Mhm.
So this is actually a okay. So she's okay. So the whole, and it's like a very vast universe full of lore.
Mhm.
But to put it in a nutshell, let's just say her name is Shunrook.
Okay.
So basically, what she's doing is she's actually when she was younger, she picked up the and this is a universe full of sorcerers, but they're called Orans,
Okay.
and it's a whole thing. But basically, they used to have a Hitler in a way, but of course, the regime ended because
Magic Hitler.
no, because of multiple reasons.
Would you like my magic mustache?
But you know, the empire ended for multiple reasons. But who should pick up his diary but her? And she learns from it a little bit and picks up pieces of his ideals, but makes it her own. And she basically leads an underground rebel against the new society. And basically, a climactic point in the first novel where the hero, the protagonist, talks to her, she could not be more compelling and hypnotic with her personality. And I think that makes for a good villain. You know what I mean? To where it's
Very
like
charismatic.
not even that, just like in a way, yes, charismatic, but like her voice is her presence is calm yet yet firm. You know what I mean? Like just she stares at you and you're just like, you're there, like she's got you. You know what I mean? She's one of those people. Like
I'm gonna like Robert California and like the 8th season of The Office.
The Office.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I guess so.
Because he was
don't-
very calm and charismatic, but
Yeah.
he made no sense at times. You're like,
right.
is he gonna kill
Right.
somebody?
But Shunrook, it's like no, it's like she almost convinces the protagonist that she's right. But the protagonist still kind of puts his foot in the sand and, you know, like is like, no, you're wrong. But at the same time, she nearly got him. I mean, she was so calm, cool, and collected, and she is for most of the series. And I don't know. I
So
think,
he drew a line in the ground.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
But at the same time, like when she spoke, he listened. I mean, and that's her thing. It's like she's very cruel, but at the same time, she's cool, calm, and collected for most of the series, and she has a very compelling hypnotic presence. So I think that I don't know. I think that any villain that's got that vibe is kind of, you know, I don't know, but I don't know. I like her a lot. I know I'm very proud of her as a character.
I'm excited to read when you get this, you know,
yeah,
all
thank
out,
you.
dude. Seriously.
Sounds
But
good.
fair warning though, if like, be nice.
Be nice?
No, it's a good story. I love it personally, but it's just like, I don't know, if there's grammatical errors, I don't know.
Oh please!
I
Have
don't
you
know.
met me? I'm the king of grammar trouble.
Okay, but
Dude,
yeah,
you
all
don't-
right.
you
But
don't
I don't know. Just
understand.
I always
just-
have to throw disclaimers.
I skip lines. I say
Yeah.
stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, perfect, cool.
I guess it's my turn, and then
Yeah.
we're wrapping up. I've written a number of stories as well. A couple of them I even finished. But I don't know. I like a wide variety of different villains. I think I had one that was sort of like a jealous, spurned lover kind of type, which I thought was really interesting to have. I think chaotic villains can be very fun and interesting as well. I also wrote. Sometimes it's just fun to have just. I like bouncing. I like having multiple villains in a story that also bounce off of each other. I guess my favorite one, because I've written a number of them, and I could go on about each one forever. But my favorite one was actually a story that I ended up having to get scrapped. But I'm gonna try and reuse the guy, and his name was Ravier.
Okay.
And he's barely a villain even, but he is for
Okay.
the purpose of the story. He basically has some sort of mental disability. He's a little slow, or he might even be something similar to autistic, where he's not necessarily dumb, but his emotions are out of whack.
Gotcha. Okay.
And because of a bunch of lore reasons, and because of that mental illness, actually allows him to basically use more magic than most anyone else.
Okay.
The way magic works in that universe is every time you basically get a new power or magic source, it's attached to a spirit of some kind. And so there's basically the only limit on magic is how many voices can you handle in your head at once, because of his mental. So most people can only have 2 or 3 power sources at once, because your head starts getting crowded and you can't think. He's got 20. He's the only character in this world that can handle that many.
Yeah.
And still like coherently think
Because
and-
of his.
Yeah, because of his mental, he can really focus
Yeah.
and kind of tune that out and stuff like that. And so he makes for a really, because the main character only has one, but he's like really witty and very improvisational, and he uses his powers in very unique ways. Whereas this Ravier character, because of his mental disability, has a bunch of power but can't think outside the box. So watching them fight is very interesting, where he's got all these very direct, very powerful, unique attacks, and the main character is just having to get very creative with his one, and the way they bounce off of each other. I enjoy writing.
It's kind of like Legion.
haven't seen Legion, but I believe
Well, Legion is a
Oh,
comic
is
character
that-
because he has inside of his head because he has.
Am I thinking of the right movie with Paul Bettany or?
No,
I am Legion.
that has angels, and that was a
Yeah,
TV show that didn't work out.
yeah. I didn't like
No,
the movie.
Legion. Legion is the character. Legion is Charles Xavier's son.
Oh yeah.
So he has
Yeah.
he has split personality disorder. So he has bunch of personalities in his head, and each personality controls a different power. But he doesn't know when they're going to come out, and they talk to him, and so
Yeah. No, and I was going to say, that actually reminds me of another book called Legion, which has a sort of similar premise, but without the superpowers. It's just different skills. That might be worth checking out, too. But yeah, I have a bunch of different villains, and they're all sorts of fun and writing different types, but I think that's the one that's the most fun because of how he bounces off the main character, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's one of my things that I wrote earlier was what makes a good villain is that they help the main protagonist grow.
Yeah, agreed.
That and I also heard another good point from a video essay I watched about what makes a good villain. Is they know the hero's weakness.
Yeah.
And they can directly target.
That's
the hero's
Legato
weakness.
on both, I think, perfectly embodies that. Who I mentioned earlier, Legato
Yeah.
Blue Summers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
but real quick, because I want to go back to the game real quick for one more time. Saruman.
Effective villain or not?
Yes,
No.
he's a giant eye in the sky.
No. Wait, Sauron or Saruman?
Sauron. Sorry.
Okay.
Sauron.
I don't know
Sorry.
why I thought of the Reading Rainbow theme track. Giant eye in the sky. I can fly twice as high. I don't know why.
LeVar Burton
That
shows up, he
works.
opens the door, and we just stare at
Don't
him.
take my word for it.
I'm going to say yes,
Yes.
but I'm cheating. Because I know his backstory from the Silmarillion, and he does a lot more in that than he does in The Lord of the Rings.
No, man, I'm talking about just Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna say no.
I'm going to say no. He's not good at being bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Because he's exactly what you said.
Just a giant eye in the sky.
Giant- With the exception of the,
I guess no.
with
Yeah.
the exception of the game, Shadows of
War.
Mordor,
and then
or
Shadow of War does the sequel.
you never, which are not canon, technically.
Yeah.
You never see him other than the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring. So he's not a effective bad guy.
I think he is, but I can't separate from the lore I know about him from the Silmarillion, which is external, I realize, but I've read the other books.
Cinematically, no.
No.
I'm gonna say no.
I can't. The books, but I like the books.
But Sauron is evil.
Well,
He's not good at being bad.
Movie
Sorry.
Sauron is pretty ineffective. I think book Sauron is actually a pretty darn effective.
I would
villain.
agree with that, but cinematically,
All right.
Yeah. So I guess no on Sauron.
All right. No
Darth
Sauron.
Vader. No on Darth
Yeah.
Vader.
No.
So
Tommy Wiseau is the real villain, though.
Tommy Wiseau is a real villain.
Anyways,
Tommy, if you're listening to this, we would love to have you on the show.
yes, we definitely
I
would.
Do you want him to
That's-
know where you live?
on second thought,
Well, actually,
It'll be fine.
yeah.
But yeah,
All right, yeah.
I
okay.
ready to wrap up.
I'm ready. Yeah.
All right,
Just-
real quick. We haven't said this, but you guys can catch us up on YouTube.
Absolutely.
YouTube, and we have one or maybe two episodes on iTunes.
By the time this airs, hopefully more.
We're going
Hopefully
through some
more.
pretty complex things right now with our
YouTube
streaming.
is
but
still the best
YouTube,
place to find
yeah,
us.
dude, hit us up on YouTube. Support us in any way you can.
Twitter. We're also
Twitter.
on Twitter.
You can watch our
Geekisodes.
first 3 episodes on SoundCloud
Yeah.
right now,
Yeah.
at least.
yeah,
Yeah.
At least 3
At
episodes.
least 3 episodes. But yeah, no, seriously, Twitter. Hey, tweet at us if there's topics you want us to cover.
Please.
If there's interesting things you think we should talk
Basically, we want to hear.
Facebook us.
This is very
Yeah, we can
interactive. We want to hear from you. So yeah.
Or better yet, just go to www.google.com and type in Geekisodes, Geekisodes, and we're the first thing that
Geek-eye.
pops up.
Yeah.
So
We are?
Yes,
yes,
we
we
are.
are.
What?
No
I've
joke.
never even.
Yep.
I am going to do this.
Well, let's do that. After
Unless
we
by
wrap
the time
up.
this episode airs, there's another
Yes.
Geekisodes that comes
Yeah.
out and knocks us out. But no, you can find us that way.
For
That's
now.
really easy.
And if you can,
Hey, there we are.
if you can,
There
you
we
can
are.
also We also doing carrier pigeons, so all you gotta do is catch a pigeon, and our podcast will be on that pigeon.
Well, and lizards.
And lizards, find lizards,
Lot lizards.
lot lizards, lots of
And
lot lizards.
Christopher
Have our
Walken's-
and
Christopher
Walkers.
Walkers,
And babysitters.
babysitters. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Well, this is Geekisodes signing out. Hail Cthulhu.
Yeah, that's right. Bow, sucker. Yeah. Bow down to your master. Yeah, coolie. Kiss my Converse.
Oh, come on now. Look out for a brother, man. Come on.
Am I the meanest?
No.
Am I the prettiest?
No.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
I sure am hungry. How much for an order of ribs?
Who am I?
Let me get one.
The Shogun of Harlem.
$2.50. How many ribs do I get with that?